Dear brothers and sisters, sometimes people ask me what is the Orthodox faith in essence. We see history, we see traditions, we see these priest vestments, we see many things, but okay, of course there is the dogmatics. Okay, some people say that, oh, this the right dogmatics, this is the Orthodox faith. Well, in the first centuries we didn't have all those dogmatics. So, in essence, if we look what the Orthodox faith is and the Orthodox relationship with the Lord, it is the true, authentic relationship of love. Loving Christ without any departure, without any addition. So it's much more simple than it may seem to be. It's not that difficult, not that complex. And any heresy, any schism, departure from the orthodoxy, it is because of love towards something else, towards this world. What is in this world? Lifestyle, way of thinking, way of living, some pagan philosophy, or some other comfort. It's not willingness to completely sacrifice yourself and take up your cross and follow Christ. That's where all these other heresies and other deviations they come from. And of course, this doesn't mean that the Orthodox people themselves, they don't deviate. All of them, they love Christ. No, unfortunately, it's not the case. Okay, but at least in the Orthodox Church, the Church is telling them what is deviation and what is not deviation. While in those other groups, it's completely away. Okay, it went astray, and they don't have this self-healing mechanism, which in the Orthodox Church is the Holy Eucharist, the communion. This is where we derive this true relationship with the alive Christ, who will rectify, who will change our false direction, our mistakes, and our worldliness. He will change us. So this is a miracle that happens, because for people it's impossible to reach. And to be honest, we ourselves, we don't love Christ the way we should. Okay, if we are honest to ourselves. So what the Orthodoxy is bringing to us, okay? We remember the Lord Himself, He said, okay, in John 14:21, whoever has my commandments and preserves them, keeps them, that one loves me. So if we have these commandments, we don't dilute it with some other things. Okay, we don't say, okay, adultery, well, it's not really adultery. No, adultery is adultery. Okay, whoever has a clean heart, he will see God. This is one of the commandments, one of the Beatitudes. And we fill ourselves with all kinds of garbage from this world, and we are attracted by that garbage coming from advertisement, from music, from everywhere. Okay? No, if our heart is not clean, we will not see God. Blessed are those poor in spirit. Not the people who can talk and they have their opinion about everything, about faith, about everything. Well, there is no, it's not humble person. So we don't say that that is a virtue. Okay, if it's not a virtue, it's not a virtue. Okay, so this is me. that's what means that we have these commandments. As an Orthodox Church, we don't lose them, we don't dilute it, we don't pollute it with anything else. These are the commandments of the Lord that bring salvation. And also not just to have them, but also to keep them, to live like this, to live according to these commandments, which is impossible for humans to do. Completely impossible. So by keeping them, we break away from this world and we show our love towards Christ. We do have that love whenever we keep these commandments and live with them. Have this holy life of serving God, taking up our cross, sacrificing ourselves, and following Him, being His witnesses through how we live, through what is our inner world. Okay, we read also in the Gospel of John 2:25. He says, and Jesus needed not that anyone should testify of a man, for he knew what was in a man. So the Lord knew, He saw directly what is in the heart, what spirit this man has in him. He knew it right away by just looking at him. Maybe even no need to look. But this is what matters. What is in us? We are Orthodox not because we stick to some true dogmas, or because we are baptized Orthodox and we are automatically Orthodox, or because we wear some Orthodox clothing, or have Orthodox cross, or have something else. No. We are Orthodox if what is in us is the Lord can see. It is love towards Him. It is the holy temple of God, or at least that we attempt to build it as much as possible. We put this the first priority in our life. We can see that, okay, I don't want to talk about these heresies, okay, those who departed far long time ago from this path of salvation. These heresies, maybe inside there are some people who are still trying to find the truth, but overall these teachings, they are really wrong. The Catholicism, Protestantism, they went away. They don't want this way of the cross. They want to make him adjusted to this fallen self, to serve Mammona and not Jesus Christ. But now when we talk about the Orthodox Church itself, okay, we need to see our own problems, not to make them, to get away from such things. So for example, Byzantine, okay, it used to be the brightest light of faith to many nations. Okay, it was the great light coming out from Byzantine to all those barbaric people, and many of them received the true faith and followed Jesus Christ. But later, eventually, it departed away. We read Saint Gregory the Palamas in the 14th century, not long before the Byzantine was conquered by the Turks. He writes that this city, it used to be the city of God. It used to be everybody had love among each other, serving the Lord. But what is it now? People are stealing from each other, fighting with each other, quarreling, and selfish. And it looks like enemies have invaded this city. They are plundering and fighting with each other. That's the perception that he had about Constantinople. And he himself was a citizen of that Byzantine. So this criticism comes from within. because he was a holy person and he could see all these things. So very soon Byzantine was destroyed, and we believe that the reason was this, that people lost love towards God and each other, and Lord's grace and protection could not preserve upon that place any longer. And there is another testimony of a foreigner who came to also to Constantinople in about the same time, 13th, 14th century, and he writes that the only impression I have of this city is the immense worship of richness, of money, and this idolatry towards material things that the citizens of this place have. This is coming from a foreigner. He is not Orthodox yet. And he is saying that all those people who live there, they worship Mammon. They worship this cow, golden cow. Okay, they only want to enrich themselves, to build better houses, to have nicer clothes and stuff like that. Is this the Orthodox capital? Not at all. Formerly it still was, but very soon it was destroyed by the Turks and become Muslim. So we can see that this worldliness, we are not vaccinated against it. Okay, we can also fall into it. The biggest problem we have in the Orthodox Church is that we had this close relationship with the government, and in the beginning it really was helpful. Okay, the government, the pious kings and queens, they really wanted to develop the church, to bring all nations to Christ. So they helped the church as Christians. But now the government serves Mammon. And our close relationship, we're still hoping to get something from the government, but it's using the church for its own purpose. So it became like a shackles. Okay, this any attachment to the government really is like a shackles to the church of Mammon, that's pulling the church down and not allowing the church to really have spiritual progress. So this is one of the problems we still have, unfortunately. Okay. Or another problem is this rhetoric that everybody is Orthodox, or if you're Russian, you're Orthodox, you have to be Orthodox. If you're Greek, you have to be Orthodox. Romanian, oh, that Romanian means Orthodox. This also is the result of this becomes that Orthodox becomes almost like a swear word, because people look at this secular and pagan behavior of these people who are supposedly Orthodox, and they say, oh, now we know what's Orthodox, and now we understand. Okay, these are those corrupt and filthy and greedy and without any ethics, without any, oh, that's Orthodox, now we know what's Orthodox. So it becomes a great shame. So the church really needs to distinguish. Okay, any nation has nothing to do with the Orthodox. Okay, if you want to be Orthodox, you need to enter into this new world, into this new realm, and everything else remains outside. And this world can go anywhere according to a great reset, according to some plans, according to whatever plans. It can go anywhere it wants. But the church has to remain the church. And we are not dragged to follow somebody else's agenda, some government or some international body or whatever. We remain loyal to Christ, and we cut these ties to the world, we cut our attachment to this fallen world. Okay, so We need to break away these shackles. And also the orthodoxy very often comes in a butaphoric form, okay, very nominal form. So, for example, we have nice photos, priest in some vestment, in some church, or some rituals. Also, many priests standing there, and there is this ritual going on, and oh, this is Orthodox. Or that priest that has this clothes, this is Orthodox. No, this is nothing. This is model. This is cosplay, Hollywood. Okay, this is nothing. It has nothing to do with the true faith. Okay, yes, the church has some forms, but this is not what makes it Orthodox. What makes it Orthodox is if we are with the Lord, if our heart is open to Him. You need to be like children, the Lord said. If your heart is like a heart of child, embracing the grace, that's Orthodox. Not some theologian who has big glasses and all those books, and he oh, I'm Orthodox because I read so many holy fathers and I read so many right articles, and no. And it's not some analytics analysts who analyze everything and speak about everything, and they don't get the truth, no matter how well you're educated. The truth is simple. You need to be like a baby. You need to be with open heart, open mind to perceive the truth. And if you're like this Talmudic approach, you will never get the truth. It will be just slipping away from you. So this is this butaphoric orthodoxy that some people are obsessed about. There is other types of orthodoxy. Okay, we have this orthodoxy or death. Okay, some people they like paramilitary. They have these black shirts and they are so powerful and angry, and we're gonna kill you no matter what you do. Orthodoxy or death. Okay, so they're ready to kill you. Okay, that what means death. Okay, this has nothing to do with orthodoxy, with faith, with love, following Christ, taking up your cross. This is very strange. And these people possess themselves as the frontier of Orthodoxy. Okay, so and sometimes Orthodoxy comes like with some titles, great and most holy and highest and holiness, whatever, and all those titles coming. This is also not Orthodox. Orthodoxy is not about that. Okay. This is all some build-up, okay? We remember the revolution in Russia. Just everything just swiped away, right away, okay? Just swiped away. All those nice cathedrals, closes, and many other things, okay? So now the agenda of this world is willing to destroy whatever remains of true Christianity. And if we don't understand ourselves what is the essence of our faith, what we are ready to die for, we're not ready to die for vestments or some other things, no, but we are ready to die for Christ. If we don't understand this, we will be just swept away, or misguided, misled, and we will worship this abominable creature that will declare himself to be like God. Okay, receive his kingdom and whatever else. So let us be like these children. Let us always search for the Lord. The Lord wants us not just to understand, oh, now I get Orthodoxy is this, I read this, okay, now I know. Now, okay, this is Orthodox. No. Orthodoxy is like coming into a room, into a palace, and staying there. And it's a new life, in new place, a new reality, And this is where we want to be all the time. This is what means to get approach, to get into the church, to become Orthodox. That every day for us the main task becomes to search for Jesus Christ. We always think about Him. We always try to find His truth in whatever happens, whatever we know. For us, this becomes the content of our life and our mind, our heart. Jesus Christ, His commandments. Do I love them? Do they bring salvation? Do I draw life from them? My whole heart is seeking for Him. I want to be in this net, He said. You'll be like fish caught in the net. I want to be in that net. I don't want to slip through and then go. I want to be in that net. That means I don't want to follow my will. I want to follow the Lord's will, which may bring suffering, which may bring self-humiliation and other things. But I am willing to take up my cross and follow Him. Because otherwise we are remaining away, outside of His providence, of His care. Okay? He will not be with us, He will not be helping us and taking care of us if we don't want this ourselves. Okay? We will be just outside, just browsing around. And that's gonna be our useless life. Let us ask the Lord to give us such heart that we love Him and to keep us on this path, to help us remain true, loyal to Him, truly Orthodox, with a true love towards God, because we don't love Him. Okay, we need to understand it. We want to learn to start loving Him from our whole heart. I mean, may the Lord help us on this path, give us His blessing. I mean.